Yu-Gi-Oh! Becoming an Olympic sport. Oh, this is interesting. Should have a grab out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Fan petition calls for Yu-Gi-Oh! To become an official Olympic sport. Now, you heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. Yu-Gi-Oh! Before Pokemon and Magic the Gathering here becomes the first that players are pushing for. Fans of elaborate combination of attacks and ridiculous hairstyles are trying to get the IOC to recognize Yu-Gi-Oh! As an Olympic sport. And let me tell you what here. This is very interesting as a thought. So the internet wants the International Olympic Committee to add the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game to their Hallowed event. Oh boy. Alongside other officially recognized Olympic sports such as competitive walking, cane fighting, and professional tug of war. Alright. A change petition started by author YouTuber Zran Jazel, I probably just butchered that and I'm sorry, makes a case for Kyrit's favorite game being given a spot of an international competition. It's an absolute injustice that the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! The trading card game is not a legitimate sport in the Olympics, the host says in the description of the petition, explaining the playing of Yu-Gi-Oh! Requires dexterity when drawing the cards, athleticism when playing the cards, and endurance when you're at around 10 of a YCS. I can agree with the endurance part, actually. The petition continues, I now call on the International Olympic Committee to add Yu-Gi-Oh! As an official Olympic sport to both mend the injustice and to apologize to Japan for making them go through the 2020 Olympic Games. Well, that's interesting. Referring to an extremely unpopular decision to continue on. That's a story for another day. I'm not going to get into that too much, but let's look at this petition, shall we, here? I think that this is probably the most interesting part here. Make Yu-Gi-Oh! An Olympic sport. 2767 have signed this. Alright? I don't know what more I'm supposed to say about this. 2,767 of you out here want this to happen. Alright, now, theoretically, I want to ask you the question at this point here is, if Yu-Gi-Oh! Were to become an Olympic sport, how would that change the landscape of the game? How would that impact things? First of all, you can bet your butt if Yu-Gi-Oh! Got this, Pokemon and Magic would not be far behind, alright? I can already tell you that there are more people out there that would push for Pokemon to be an official Olympic sport for the card game than Yu-Gi-Oh! But that's a story for another day here. So, you make one card, you know what? I'll go as far as to say if Yu-Gi-Oh! Becomes one, I expect an Olympic event for Uno here. No real sarcasm aside here. I just want to point out here that that needs to be a thing. Alright, professional Uno, but so say if Yu-Gi-Oh! Becomes an Olympic sport, how does this change the landscape and perception of the game? So I don't know, this being every 2-year event, every 4-year event, not sure actually. Like, how would you go about that? Like, which format would you play? How would you go about TCG, OCG? All right, it's another interesting question that you're going to ask yourself here is, for semantics' sake, what format are we playing? All right, if Yu-Gi-Oh! Gets recognized on this global scale, will that affect the secondary market? Oh, you bet your butt it would be. Not going to lie to you. It'd be kind of cool getting the chance to watch trading card games actually be part of the Olympics. Kind of imagine getting a gold medal for being the best duelist of that block. But how would you qualify? Like, how do you go about that? Does Konami have to kind of give the rights to the Olympic Committee to go, hey, we got to include this? I'm not really sure how the copyright boundaries for that would work. I feel like there's an entire, like, paradigm of questions to ask there. Like, does Konami technically need to supply it? Like, I'm not sure about that. But for a world-traveling scenario, okay, sure. So say our national champion for the year is like, yeah, I'm going to the Olympics, bro. I already hate how that looks in my head. Alright. Like, yeah, I just won the national championship. Now I'm going to the Olympics. You know, anybody else think that feels a little bit weird to them? I don't know. I'm just envisioning the fact of, like, how do you pick the best players in the U.S. to get to the stage? Because, like, don't you technically need to have, like, a Team USA at that point to go qualify, and that means that each nation would technically have to get. Not super well versed in the construction of Olympic teams, but like obviously like this would be the team where, unlike qualifying, well actually maybe this would be the one chance America could win, or the US could win an event, because no, we can't win worlds ever. But what if we got to pick our team? What if the community was based on the results and getting together? We could send our best players every year. I don't know. I just have to reference back to the previous question of, okay, so if we have to do this via lucky draw, not even sure. Like, my questions are, how do we get this to happen? Besides, you know, the Olympic Committee needing to go, hey, you guys can do this too. How do we go about actually executing this? Does Konami Shueisha, the copyright holders, they need to authorize this to be able to use that? That's the next question, because I'm not too sure on copyright law. How do we go about picking our best players here? Does Konami get a say in that, or is it the player base that would get a say in that? There's a lot of interesting questions to debunk here, but I think it would be really cool watching some of these Yu-Gi-Oh players out here getting the chance to take home a gold frickin' medal. Am I saying that Yu-Gi-Oh deserves to be in the same spotlight as some of these athletes that have trained their whole lives for this? Truthfully, no. I believe that athleticism could be on a much grander scale, but somebody that's played Yu-Gi-Oh for 10 years, I think it would be cool to get the chance to recognize, you know, my talent and have a chance. Like, that'd be cool in the grand scheme of things. But once again, you have to ask yourself, how does one qualify for this? Like, what skills does one have? Like, what skills do you need to go Boku no Tam Dodo? Like, I mean, I guess the only real point I agree with is the endurance for a 10-round YCS. Alright, this game has taught me one thing. Alright, if you don't eat in an event, you're going to hate yourself for a whole day. Endurance on the body is the craziest thing about this game. Alright, Yu-Gi-Oh! Truly is a game of mental and endurance. Alright, the people that can endure and play these longer events are typically the ones that end up finding out and doing better in the grand scheme of things. Who would have guessed, alright? People with better endurance can do better at Yu-Gi-Oh! Huh. Alright, you go through these events, you're like, oh man, you back to the hotel room, you ain't sleeping. Alright, you're going to sit there, you're going to theory craft in your head, you're going to try to play scenarios out, you're going to be excited, you're not going to be able to sleep. And then you see people go into the next day, there's a good chunk of people that don't sleep. Actually, there's also the people that just go straight back to the hotel, just pass out after having been up for that entire day, alright? It's where the skill of endurance comes in. And if the skill of endurance in this game is truly that worthy of being cut up on the Olympic grand stage for the rest of the world, then sure, be it. But my question to you guys is, who do you think would win the Yu-Gi-Oh! Olympics? It's so dumbfounding to me. But at the end of the day, I think that it would be interesting to see. Alright, even if it only ever happened once, though I would like to see the Pokemon Olympics as well for the trading card game and the video game. I think that would be fucking sick. Alright? I'm more excited to see the outwards potential of if this actually became a thing versus the outward mobile potential of just this itself. I think that this itself is irrelevant, but I think everything else that could come, Olympic Uno would just make me so happy. I would definitely watch it. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm sure that there's some interesting laws and things that they would have to come up with for that, and all that copyright details, as I said as well. But what do you guys think about any sort of potential for Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't think it's ever going to happen, but, you know, obviously somebody out there can dream. So guys, please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about the outward potential for a Yu-Gi-Oh! Olympics event. I still can't believe I'm making this video. It's so interesting to me to see that this is what players and things come up with, and the level of excitement that this could actually bring to the community. And who do you guys think would take home the very first gold medal for Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, obviously we need one for Speed Duels, Rush Duels, Duel Links, and of course, you know, regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Deserves it. It's the potential for what? Multiple gold medals at that point. And then, like I said, TCG, OCG format, you got to decide on both. A lot of little semantics to work out, but a lot of cool potential nonetheless. Alright guys, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think. Smash it, subscribe button, I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day for some more cool content. Peace out, guys. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCool40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCool40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcoolgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.